Good evening. So, I am Private Bell, and today I'm here to discuss basic training, more specifically basic training at Fort Sill in Oklahoma. So, I have a list of the main events here that I want to discuss because before I went to basic, I tried looking at videos about the experience, and a lot of them were either like wicked long or super short but like super vague. So I'm gonna try and like hit on all of the most important topics and also keep it kind of brief because I know that we're America. We like short and sweet. I'm gonna spit out my gum. Sorry. So first we will begin with reception. So when you first arrive at basic training, you're on a bus and you get off the bus. Well, first you're on the bus and then a drill sergeant gets on the bus and they're like, from now on, the only thing you will respond with is yes, drill sergeant, no, drill sergeant, blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. Well, you should. So you get on the, they're like, okay, get off, get off, get off. And they're like cussing, screaming at you and everyone's like sprinting off the bus. And when I got there, it was super late at night. So we sat in this big room, everyone filled out the in-processing paperwork. We got like a breakfast box meal thing. It had like a cereal bar, some cereal, a fruit cup, a juice box, just like a basic, it's like an MRE but for breakfast. So that was day 0, and then day 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, 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 was just in processing. So like dental, vision, hearing, getting your blood work done, getting all your uniforms, everything ready to go for basic training. And then you get into basic training itself, which is when you leave reception and go to your gaining company. So for me at Fort Sill, I was a summer company because I went at the beginning of June. So I was with a bunch of kids that were, not kids, I guess I'm a kid. We're a bunch of trainees that were all going for one of the batteries that's only open for the summer cycles because it's designed for like the split ops. So we went there and I was in Echo Battery 119. So like 1st Battalion, 19th Field Artillery Division. Sorry, I need to stop. Okay, Fort Sill. And yeah, that happened. And so day 0 was the beginning of red phase, and red phase was hell. We got there, they're screaming at you, yelling at you, do this, do that. You get assigned your platoon. I was 1st platoon. You get assigned, you know, this is where you're gonna sleep. This is how to make a bed. And they basically just teach you the basics. They teach you half right phase, so you'll learn that one pretty quick. They'll teach you basic DNC movements like forward march, you know, counter column, everything you need to know to survive the first few weeks of basic training. And then you get into the good stuff. There's a lot of classroom briefings in red phase, and don't fall asleep because you will be yelled at. Alright, so I got 5 things I want to cover here on red phase. Gas chamber. A lot of people think it sucks. It does suck, but just don't trip yourself out about it. It'll be alright, you know? You go in there, you have your mask, you take it off for 3 seconds, put it back on, clear it to make sure that you know how to do it. Then you take it off, you start chanting the Soldier's Creed until everyone's coughing and they let you out. It sucks, but it only lasts a couple minutes and you'll get through it. Med lanes. They teach you so much about medicine. It's stupid. Like, they're like, okay, this is how you do this is how you do that. Tourniquet, you know, freaking assess a casualty, return fire, anything and everything. 9-line medevac. Anything you need to know about treating a casualty, anything you need to know about, like, medicine in the field, they teach you. And it's bad, though, because a lot of the drill sergeants will tell you different things, and then you'll get to the med lanes where you actually have to prove that you know how to do it, and you won't know what to do for who because every drill sergeant has a different way of doing things. So that's that. A lot of med training. Land nav. This one's actually kind of fun. They teach you how to use like a compass and a protractor and plot points and then make your way to those points. It's pretty cool. It was super hot. We had like 4 people pass out. It was like 105 degrees. So that kind of sucked. But yeah, they teach you how to, and it's like a huge course because Fort Sill's massive. They teach you how to navigate through all that. So it was pretty cool. FTX 1. This is where you basically learn all your battle drill movements. So like bounding and like moving as a unit, setting up a patrol base, everything like that that you need to know for like field training. And then you have your 4K, which we did to an obstacle course. It was I think it's CCC, combat conditioning course, and that was one of the funnest parts of basic in my opinion. It was the motivating thing. You went with your platoon, everyone was cheering one another on. You're like, oh, hula hula, we're a team now, yeah. And that was literally probably one of my favorite parts. So that's red phase. It's basically just a culmination of all of that, the basic initial training events, and a lot of just like knowledge, like, okay, this is how you march, this is how you like conduct yourself as a member of the army. And then you move into white phase, and white phase is fun because this is when you get assigned PGs. So what they do is you get into a formation on the drill pad, which is where you form up as platoons, and the first sergeant comes through and he gives you this speech, hoo, you made it, blah, blah, blah. And then they'll change the color of the flag, and then half right phase, and then you do push-ups, and it's a good time. But then you all get up, and your drill sergeant's like, all right, you, PG, you, APG. And basically what that is like student leadership. So we'll have them march us to dinner and like stuff like that. They'll like march us, they'll call cadence, it's super fun, and it basically just gives a little bit more of a leadership role. You know, they'll take charge in the barracks. It's a super good time. White phase is also all about qualifications. You'll do your rifle qual, which a lot of people freak out about, but honestly, it's bad. In my opinion, I'm a terrible shot. It took me 7 or 8 tries to qualify with 24. So you only need 23, so I barely made the cutoff, and it took me so many, people are slamming doors. Sorry, I'm in my barracks right now. Took me quite a bit of time to qualify for that, but you'll get it. They literally won't let you fail. You just keep going and going until you make it. You also do your grenade qual, which is super cool. It's, at first you do, like, fake grenades, and there's 7 stations, and it's like, okay, you're on your stomach, and you're kneeling, and you gotta stand, there's, like, a bunch of different ones, and then you do live hand grenades, which is really stressful, and they're super loud, but it's also super cool, because it's like, whoa, I threw real grenades, and, you know, not many people can say that, so that was super cool. Also, I can't remember if we did this at the end of white phase or the beginning of blue phase, but we qualified with a machine gun, an M249, and a grenade launcher, which was super cool, but again, super stressful, but you know, it's all about whether or not you're into that. I personally was not. I didn't like the shooting aspect of basic. Alright, 8K and 12K. So these are ruck marches where, I don't know if I talked about it when I said the 4K, but you have to wear like your helmet, which is like this ACH, it's kind of like an obnoxious big thing, I don't know. And then you have to wear your flick, which is like the thing that holds your ammo pouches and your canteens. And you have to carry your rifle, and you have to be having a backpack, an assault pack is what it's called, and it has about maybe 30-40 pounds of gear in it, and so like it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're marching, so like the 8K I believe was maybe 5-ish miles, and the 12K was 7 miles, so you march with all that, and it gets to you after a while, and you're like readjusting every couple minutes, and it's like, oh my god, can we just get there? So the 8K was when we went to a simulator, because when you go to qualify, you'll do a simulator and be like, boom, 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 this is fake, but it's teaching you what it's going to be like, and, you know, it's pretty cool. And then the 12K we did to the grenade range, I'm pretty sure. Or no, the 12K we did to FTX2, which is what I'm about to get into. FTX2 was it's a one-night event. You stay in the field for one night in, like, this one-man tent, and you have to, like, pull security, like sometimes 33%, sometimes 100%, it really just depends. We didn't get woken up on FTX2 at all, so like we didn't get attacked or whatever they call it. We just slept through it, and then we got up and like learned more battle drills and stuff like that. Anyway, so that was white phase, and that was just basically qual and a little bit more into like the field training events. And then blue phase was where it kind of all tied together and like you became a soldier. So I'm going to talk about a few things. DNC was big in blue phase. We worked a lot with our weapons, learned how to do all of like present arms, inspection arms, right shoulder arms, like all the stuff that you need to know how to do with your weapon for a ceremony. Combatives, which is where it was kind of like a big wrestling tournament, honestly. You basically learned how to like fight, how to protect yourself, self-defense, how to perform a search on an enemy, prisoner of war. So that was that. 16K sucked. I was chafing really badly. It was after, actually, let me do this in order because it's going to stress me out. BTT2, Buddy Team Live Fire. I know they call it different things at different bases, but this was where you have like a buddy and you're like, okay, buddy, cover me while I move. I got you covered. Weapon on safe, moving. And then you get back down and then you shoot, boom, boom, boom. It's live rounds, guys. It's really scary, and there's like a drill sergeant right next to you the entire time, and you better not mess up because they will get you. So that was BTT2, and then a couple of days later we did Nick at Night, which was my least favorite part of basic training. Seriously. It sucked. Okay, so basically what you do is you're crawling. I don't know how it is at other bases, but at Fort Sill, it's gravel, and there's machine guns, boom, 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 going off over your head, and you have to low crawl with your rifle and this giant, we call it IBA. It's like your body armor, and it's really heavy, and then you have to have your flick, basically full battle rattle, and you're crawling, and it's like, if I had to guess, probably like 100, 200 meters, and you low crawl across this gravel, or high crawl, but no one high crawl because that takes, or no one low crawl, everyone high crawl because low crawling takes too long. And it's freaking sucked. I could smell the blood through my clothes. We didn't get to use elbow pads in my battery. So that sucked. And then we got FTX3, which was the crazy one. It was 4 days, 3 nights in the field. And you basically learned a ton of battle drills, learned how to enter and clear a building. We raided, we got attacked by mortars every freaking night. We had to pull security. And then the very last day of FTX was the Little Chicago, or like the town infiltration, which was super fun. We went through and we basically like captured a sheik, and we had to like go and clear the buildings, shoot the bad guys, and oh my gosh, this was wild. It was like seriously made me feel like I was actually doing something for the army. And then what else do we got? Oh, after FTX3, you do your 16K. So 16K is at night on the way back from a PX3. And everyone's disgusting and sweaty. No one showered in 5 days, and you're just loving life. So you're marching 10 or so miles back to your company, battery, whatever you call it. And you get there, and they're like, "Hooah, we made it! Now let's go do our rite of passage." So we all got in a big formation, and they're like, "Blah blah blah, drill sergeants, come on over." And then the drill sergeants, all of them, like read one of the Army values, and like, we're all soldiers now. We're part of something bigger than ourselves. We got our berets. We drank some Gatorade. We went to bed, and believe us, we went to bed. Slept. Got up really late the next morning because we hadn't slept in over. Well, we hadn't slept very much in over 3 days, so we got to do all that, and then the rest of basic training was a breeze. We barely did PT. It was mostly just graduation practice, you know, congrats, we made it, chilling, working on DNC some more, and then graduation came, and it was just a good old time. So we got to do that, which was super cool because everyone came, not everyone, obviously, but like everyone's families, and it was just like, oh my gosh, like we made it. 9 weeks of this hell. Like I wanted to quit, I wanted to go home. A lot of these people really outdid themselves more than they thought they could. I didn't get to participate in the rite of passage because I failed my final PT test, but that's okay because, you know, we are a family and we made it through together, and that's what the Army's all about. And so I really value the idea of, you know, honor and like protecting your country, but I value more is the brotherhood and the family that I've created in the Army. And here I am now. I am 17 years old, living in a beautiful area on a beautiful post, and it's just overwhelming to me. So that's basic training in a nutshell. I'm probably gonna try and make more of these videos because I feel obligated to share my story, especially as a 17-year-old private who is active duty, because I feel like there's not a lot of that, and a lot of people are curious because I know I was. So if you have anything, any suggestions, requests, questions, comments, anything, just like comment, or, you know, just I'll try and think of some cool ideas because I got some more in my brain that I want to share. So I really appreciate anyone and everyone that watches and asks questions and does anything. And yeah, I don't really know how to conclude this kind of thing, so I'm just gonna say bye. Thank you so much.